So this is Ted Flett of Golden Skate, and I'm thrilled to be joined by Nam Nguyen, two-time Canadian champion, reigning Canadian champion. We're here in Thornhill at the Thornhill Toronto Summer Skate. Nam, thanks so much for talking to us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So there's lots to digest and sort of reflect on with last season.
Yeah.
Huge finish to the season for you. But let's go back even a bit further. So coming off the Olympic season, we were all, well, maybe not surprised, but certainly a time or opportunity for skaters to take stock and think about, do they want to continue through?
Yeah.
Tell us what sort of guided you to persevere and stay in the sport after the 2018 games, after bronze medal, so just one spot short of that Olympic team.
So actually, just after our nationals, that for me wasn't the tipping point of like making a decision in my career at that point just yet, because I had 4 continents to worry about, and then the possibility of going to Worlds because of Patrick's, he had to make up his mind for that too. Mm-hmm. But what really got me into the thinking was like after the World Championships, when I didn't make it past the short for the second time, and everything was just it just felt really weird. I felt lost and confused, and so I took like a few weeks off, which I don't think I've ever done in my career. So I was spending a lot of time thinking about what I've done for this sport and what's there in the future for me, like should I go back to school or like in that regard. But there's this small part of me that really wanted to try out skating one last time, and so I was like, okay. So I went to tell my parents, and then they were like, listen, if you're going to continue for another year, we can't help you out just because the sport's too expensive. And it's been pretty long. So I was like, all right. So I had to obviously find ways to make money to pay for myself. And right now I'm coaching, and I used to work at the figure skating boutique, but not anymore because of scheduling. But yeah, so far it's been a great schedule to keep up with. It's keeping me busy, and I'm in a good place right now. So, yeah.
Do the additional requirements on your time actually make you a bit more disciplined, or
yeah, it does. It does. Okay. Yeah. So going into the Olympics, I did nothing except skating, and it was like at first it was fine. Like I didn't really notice like the downsides of it, but then after a while it started to catch up, and like I was getting bored, and I was becoming too obsessive about skating, and all I thought was just skating, and everything revolved around it, and it was getting pretty dangerous. And so not making the Olympic team obviously was devastating, but like I think it was like next level for me because I was just focusing on that, and there was nothing else in my life going on at that point. Fast forward to now, like there's so many things happening like outside of skating for me, and I'm absolutely loving it. Like school is going well, coaching the kids is awesome, and even working at the store too was great. But yeah, I definitely enjoy this current lifestyle that I have.
Right. When you arrived at Canadian Nationals last year in St. John, did you think that you had a shot? Were you thinking you were going to fly out of there as the new champion?
No, because going into that event, like a lot of the hype was around Keegan Mesting, and rightfully so, because Keegan's a great skater, and his international showings were just awesome. Like I could never stop talking about him. Like he's such a great skater too, and just to share the ice with him is incredible. But I didn't think like I was gonna win. All I was thinking about was kind of just going in there, doing my job, and just keeping this positive vibe that I've had for that season. Mm-hmm.
What is your off-ice relationship like with Keegan? Because I mean, you said it. Keegan really, it was Keegan's season last year.
It
right?
was, yeah.
This was to be his crowning moment.
Exactly.
And you snuck back in there.
Yeah.
I mean, are you both?
We're
off the ice?
Yeah, we're like best friends. Like it's crazy. He invited me to his wedding that's happening next month. Unfortunately, I can't make it because of a conflict in schedules, but off the ice we're great. I tease him a lot for some of the things that he does, but
like what?
Like
tell us.
Some of the so okay, there was this one time we were texting each other at 4 continents, and we were just talking about the schedule, and I just confirmed it with him, and he said awesome sauce. And like I've never come across anyone that says awesome sauce, like probably, and no offense, like probably like an very old Caucasian figure. And so I called him a grandpa, and he was like, I was just giving him a hard time for it. And obviously with his like yo-yoing, like that's just like weird,
right.
Straight up weird. And I would always make fun of him for that. But all in all, the energy between us is great. We vibe so well with each other, and can't wait to see him next month at our summer competition.
There was a really neat moment at Canadian Nationals when you embraced Hélène Chartrand, who had also, come back from some real desperate times after her championship, Canadian Championship win in 2016. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so the beginning of last year, we were both on the same page of like deciding whether or not to continue, and I was just texting her, just checking in on her and just asking her what her plans were, and she was like, I don't know. And I think that night we just kind of had like a heart-to-heart talking about what we've done in our career so far, and if we were to go for another one, what would be our goal. And that night we concluded that we wanted to become national champions, and we didn't really look further than that. Just national champ was our goal. And so we were like, all right, so let's put in the work. And we ended up going to the same school too, which was funny. But yeah, I mean, for us to share that moment in St. John, I think was incredible. I mean, like, I don't think I would ever be able to replicate that moment with anybody else, just because Elaine and I have been in similar situations in the past. And to come out on top at that national championships was the best feeling ever.
So obviously you then qualified for the World Championships.
Yeah.
What was that like? What was the momentum feeling like coming off that Canadian win and then heading into Worlds?
Yeah, so I was obviously stoked to be going to Worlds. The last 2 times I went to Worlds were kind of just a mystery because I was on the alternate, and like I was waiting for someone for the news if someone's going to pull out or not. But this time I was like going for sure. And so what we did was we put like a specific training plan for the championships. And obviously in my mind, I was like thinking about like making it past the short program. And I was joking about that a lot, but like deep down, like I was like very genuine with that because I didn't want to repeat the last 2 championships that I'd been to.
Are those tough demons to shake? I mean,
yeah.
You are no one would dispute that you are a skater that should be in the top 24. So when you're not after the short program, it is kind of a what happened, not a Nam was on the bubble. You should have made it. So
exactly, yeah.
What did you do mentally to move beyond that fear that you're not going to make?
Yeah. So I think that's where Robert comes in, and he's great at reeling me in mentally, and he knows me better than I do myself, so he knows what to say in the exact moments when I'm about to have a freak out just because I'm thinking about Worlds and the short program. And so he's always there for me when I really, really need it. And I think with that, it really helped me get over that mental block. And when the day of the short came about, I was extremely calm. And I just kind of took the day as it went and did my job on the ice. And when I was in the kiss and cry, and I forget what place I was at that time, but I was like, I got a season's best, I think, or whatever. And I was like, oh, I made it past the short program as a joke, but like I felt very relieved. But when the long program came, it was just like I was like very relaxed, and I knew what I was going to do. So yeah.
What specifically did he say to help you to move beyond, to not be fearful of?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could answer that, but like he says so many things, and if you ever find yourself in a conversation with Robert, like good luck getting out of it, because he talks so much. Like with anybody, like he loves talking, but for me, like I'm gonna be real with you, like most of the things that he says in the past, like I forget. Okay. So between him
somewhere in there
exactly for like the present moment, it's gonna help me, but like once a week goes by or a few weeks go by, I'm just gonna forget, and then he's gonna have to bring that up again. But that's how our relationship goes, right? So I wish I could answer that.
So you come off the Worlds, you head to the World Team Trophy, attain records there, which is fantastic, and then you're invited on the Stars on Ice tour. Tell us about when you got that call, that notification or invite.
So I actually got that call before 4 continents. And it was really funny. So I was at my rink and I'm chilling with our administrator, and I get a text from my agent, and he's like, "Are you sitting down?" And I was like, yes. And then he's like, you got Stars on Ice. And I started freaking out. Like I was like sweating, and Robert had just heard me shriek from the ring. So he came in to see what was going on, and I told them, and we were pretty stoked for that. I told all my close friends, and we were really excited. So I think just getting that text, and then when I got the actual contract, that's when it really hit me that I was gonna do the full tour. So like I was speechless for like a week, because it's been a long time dream of mine to be part of the tour. But also like I knew like I had to work hard for it. Like it's never gonna come easy, right? So for anyone, like you just gotta put the work and stay locked in, and hopefully you get like opportunities.
Yeah. Have you followed the Stars on Ice tour over the years?
Not really. Okay. Like I watched the previous tour when the Olympic team was going through the country, so that was really cool. I think I've watched the full tour twice. So the last one was 2018, and the one before that was when I was like 12 or 11, and I was still in Vancouver. Yep. So the energy was unreal. Like everyone did amazing. The audience was just, super into it. So I love it.
Was that your first time where you spent that kind of day-to-day, interaction with, Megan and Eric and Patrick Chan and Caitlin and Andrew? And what sort of bonds did you form, or what sort of friendships?
Honestly, like I never thought I'd say like I was like close to these kinds of people. Like obviously we see each other at competitions, but it's kind of different when you don't see them on a daily basis, and that's something that the tour offered for 4 weeks. So to be able to kind of just be on the same ice as them every single day, and to have their support every time I'm down, or for me trying to support them, it's awesome. And I'm definitely going to try to like work hard again this season to be on the tour again.
Seeing you on tour, because I saw both the Toronto and the Hamilton show, you looked like such a comfortable skater amongst that group, which was frankly surprising, right? Because you were the junior coming in.
Exactly.
You have a confidence, it seems, and a real musicality that myself and other fans haven't seen before. Was that did that happen all of a sudden? Is that a transition that you think you've developed over time?
I think it's something that I've developed over time, but also what I've noticed is that now because I'm like on my own for skating, I've kind of developed this side of creativity that I never thought I'd be able to get. I mean, yes, like way back when I was like a midget and was like performing to like the Bumblebee music or whatever, like I would say it was like kind of forced, because like I was taught to be like that. But now I think with my current programs, it kind of brings out this like side that I never thought would come into existence. And so Stars on Ice was like the perfect opportunity for me to just unleash that, not just for like the audience watching, but just for myself, to make sure that I know that I can perform in a stressful environment. Like show's not that stressful, but like still you have the adrenaline, right, pumping through your body, and so you're thinking about a lot of things. But with tour, it was a perfect opportunity for me to kind of learn how to settle down and just connect with the music. So
Okay, so speaking of music, your choices for this next season, where are you at in terms of music choices and choreographing your programs?
Right, so I'm done choreographing both programs. My short program is Blues for Klook, choreographed by Mary Angela Larmer, and my free program is a Beatles medley, and that's choreographed by Danielle Rose and Kurt Browning. Okay. So
talk to us first about the show program. What made you choose Blues for Klook?
Yeah, so I think the process for both music actually it was very quick this time. I didn't really spend a lot of time, looking. Blues for Klook came on and when I was listening to music in the car, and I was like, I love it. Like I just like how silky it is, and that like very low-key swagger that it has. Whereas if you compare it to Frank Sinatra last year, Frank is like very out there, and I try to be like that, but with this one I feel like I can kind of internalize it, but it's still very obvious in a different sense. So that's kind of my goal for this program. My free program, I wanted to skate to Queen, but Matteo Rito just skated to it last season, and he did such an incredible job with it. It was like incredible. Like I watched it like over and over, and he's an artist, and the way he used that music was great. So I didn't want to kind of like, you know, go into that. So the first thing that came to my mind was the Beatles, and so I kind of did some research on them, and I'm going to be skating to Come Together, Get Back, and Let It Be.
Nice.
Yeah, so 3 iconic pieces, I think, and I think with this program, I just want to have fun with it and show, you know, there's different sides in that program, 3 different sides to that program, right? Yeah, I'm really excited to show everybody.
Yeah. Now, when you choose music like Blues for Klute, for example, which Daisuke Takahashi has given to you, or Sui and Han, did you watch their interpretation, or do you try not to and create your own movement and your own interpretation?
So yeah, I've watched, you know, their programs, their interpretation to the music. I think I'm not like copying them. I hope not. Like the way we choreographed it was all just based on how I feel or how I move to it. And like, you know, there may be a little bit of influence from them, but like, you know, I wouldn't like take move by move, obviously, right? Like their vibe to it is something that I want. There's like silky, some cool stuff happening, but like no plagiarism.
Right. And does it choose? I mean, you use the word silky, which I agree with for Blues for Klute. Do you think that will also help you to sort of continue this rhythm of a contained, consistent show program?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, well, now that you brought it up, and I'm thinking now, I think it's perfect if, you know, I'm feeling, you know, anxious or stressed. When this music comes on, I can really just settle into my knees, and that's what this music demands, is like, you got to really press into that ice. And so far now that I've been training it for like a week and a half, like I'm starting to find like spots in the program where I can really just milk the choreography. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So choreography and movement aside, onto the technical, what are you sort of, any changes, anything different you'll be attempting this season? Any particular jumps or spins that you're working on to develop and really contain this?
For jumps, I'm adding the toe back. I mean, obviously I can do a toe, but when it comes to competition, it's different, right? So I used to do it like, you know, a few years ago, but now I want to do toe and sow in the same program, same competition. So that's different, I guess. And then for spins, I'm still playing around with them, and I want to have new spins because, you know, like I'm obviously known as not the greatest spinner in the world, but I've been putting, you know, work in to make my positions look better and faster. So yeah, we're still playing with different positions and trying to come up with what works for me and the music.
So speaking about trying different things, you're a skater who has not been shy to make coaching changes when you think it's necessary. Right? That, you know, you don't let moss grow under your feet by any means. If you think something needs to be changed, you make those changes. You know, being now with the same coach into your second season with Robert, does that give you a sense of sort of calmness or consistency?
It's a celebration itself, the fact that I'm still with Robert for after this long. It's the longest I've been with a coach since cricket. And you know, I told myself if I'm ever gonna, you know, stop skating, I want to do it with him and with the Richmond Training Center. They've been so great to me. Their support has been unreal. And as I said earlier, Robert knows me more than I know myself. So in my own eyes, I think he's a legend at what he does. He's incredible. So yeah, I'm not going to go through more changes.
Okay.
Because going through changes, I think, is just so stressful.
Sure.
I think. I mean, like going to California was, you know, like based on a whim, right? So
that was bold. That was a bold move.
It really was. Like I'm going to be so real to you guys and to all those people. Like it was like there's no logic behind that move. Obviously, I learned so much from David Glynn. You know, he's a great guy, great coach, and you know, but like the move itself, there was no logic. There was like nothing behind it to support it enough to why I moved there. And then going to YRSA, which is like 2 minutes away from where I currently train at, was more of like a save me kind of thing, and that's where my dad actually helped me. He moved me from Cali back to Toronto, and I think that was like a stepping stone in my career. And then now I'm at RTC, and everything feels settled. I can call RTC my home. Actually, I spend most of my time there more than my actual home. But yeah, change is stressful for sure. But and I'm so thankful. Like I don't want to like go through anymore.
Well, and it's funny when you mentioned skating, heading to California and skating with David Glynn. I was always curious at that time. Did you skate much? I know Polina Edmunds at that time was, I think, nursing an injury following her season, where she really, came onto the scene for the second time in 2016.
Yeah.
Did you skate much with Polina? I mean, I see a lot of parallels between the two of you in terms of, success, struggle, success again.
Yeah.
She was known as a skater with tons of determination, wasn't shy to say that she expects the best and she expects to win. Yeah. Did you spend much time with her?
Not really. Okay. I mean, when I moved there, she was like just starting to like feel like the injury, right? So she wasn't skating on a daily basis. We'd share the majority of our time together on like sessions. Like we have like private sessions just for us. So I mean, that was like the only time we ever spent it, and very rarely do we ever spend time together outside of the rink. Just because we both have very different lifestyles. She was also just starting college. And I was just trying to like settle down with the move and all that. So we were both on different schedules too.
Sure,
so,
fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for indulging me in that little
absolutely.
in that curiosity.
Of course.
This season, you're heading to Skate Canada, and your second Grand Prix event
Cup of Russia.
Okay. Yeah. How do you feel about your ISU sort of Grand Prix schedule?
I'm just happy to have 2 Grand Prix. I mean, in the past, I would get one, and then I would wait. If I was going to get the second one. But I'm so thankful for the opportunity to have 2 Grand Prix, and we're now putting in the work and formulating goals and plans for each event. So yeah, I'm really happy. Can't wait to perform in front of the home crowd, obviously in Kelowna. And honestly, Cup of Russia is a fun event. I actually like skating in front of like the Russian crowd. So
okay,
yeah.
Okay, excellent. And your goals as you sort of head into this, second season of the next of this current quadrennial, your goal sort of long term?
No, actually. So I think what's kind of getting me through right now is the fact that I'm not thinking about 2022 or anything long term. I'm taking it day by day, month by month, just because that's how I like to work. Otherwise, I'm just going to get overwhelmed and start, stressing and start doing unnecessary things to our plan. So I think right now, I just want to get through this month, and then we have our first competition. And I told my trainer the other day, my goal for that is just to get through from beginning to the end without dying too much. Right. So that's where I'm at currently. I don't really have anything else to say in terms of what I have planned for Skate Canada or Cup of Russia.
Fair enough. Okay. Nam, thanks so much for chatting with us.
Thank you.
It's so great to see your success this past season.
Thank you.
We're all fingers crossed and wish you the best of luck, as you're now in much more of the driver's seat heading into this next season. So best of luck. We look forward to watching.
Thank you very much.